to do.
Okay.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler. All right, so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about, we've started material sourcing or looking into material sourcing through China. So it's a new project that I've been working on for a few weeks now, just to see what kind of pricing we can get, if it's going to be worth it, and all of the, the work that you have to put into it to save us a bunch of money from where we're sitting right now with materials. So kind of the first step to sourcing materials was to hire a virtual assistant. I know you've probably been on some of the trainings where Amanda and Tyler go over how to hire VAs and what all they can do for you. Matt really likes virtual assistants too, so we did end up getting one for the warehouse here at Easy Street. And she's been working with a lot of suppliers overseas to find us the best deals on a lot of the materials that we're using in every house that we're working on. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just kind of go over some of the prices where we're at right now and what we can start buying overseas. So
Okay.
right now we're paying $5 for our deadbolt, which is, I mean, it's a really good cost on deadbolts because you're looking at over $10 just to buy them from Menards if you walk in the door. But if we were to start buying those from China, we would be able to get those for $1.69 each, which is, I guess, a phenomenal price, right?
Erika, can you hear me? You have to unmute, sorry.
Okay.
You're good.
Good to go?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. All right, so we were talking about cabinet hardware. So right now we are currently paying $1.07 for our 3-inch cabinet handles, and and for our 1 1/4 inch cabinet knobs, we're paying $1.55. We were able to find those in China for 29 cents each for both of them.
Now, what's the VA? What is she going through to find these suppliers? Is she going through like Alibaba or something, or?
So she's working with several different suppliers. Not all of these are coming from the same person. She actually has experience in purchasing overseas for an airline that she used to work for, and then with COVID, everything that happened, she ended up being out of work. So I ended up hiring her. So I mean, these are suppliers that she's found completely on her own.
Yeah. So we just hired her from Upwork, and she kind of knew already. Okay.
Yeah, we found her actually through it was a referral from one of our VAs through Upwork, but we hired her directly.
Okay.
So,
hey, Victor, by the way, Victor, I know you're on the cell phone, so you can't really see what's going on. I put you on mute in case you're trying to talk. Your phone was having a little static come through, but just in case you're trying to talk, that's why.
Okay. I will. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Is that okay, Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that so we have a website that we use for our warehouse and ordering for our contractors at Easy Street. And I actually basically just gave our virtual assistant access to that, and she's working through the entire list to get us prices on everything before, I guess, we make the final decision. But right now it's looking like, I mean, it would really be worth it, even with checking into all the money that you have to pay in, for exporting and importing, things like that. But I'll move on. So the next thing that she was looking into was our GFCIs. So right now we are paying about $7 for GFCIs through Amazon Business. It's the lowest price I've been able to find in over a year looking at these. We used to pay close to $20 a piece for each of them. She is able to get us those for $3.80 through China. And that comes with the plate for the wall also. So it's the whole kit. Bathroom hardware is another one that we've been looking at. For the towel bars, we are able to get those from China for $3.50 a piece, and this is in the satin nickel. Towel rings, $2.40, and toilet paper holders, $2.20. So we're looking at about around $10 for everything to put in a bathroom, which would save us huge. Right now we're paying, I want to say, close to $10 a piece just for the towel bars, which is a huge discount compared to what they are at Lowe's, which is right around 20. So
We haven't gotten anything yet to test quality though, right?
huh? What'd you say, Tyler?
Have we gotten anything yet to test quality of it, or?
We have not. So we haven't actually made our first purchase. When we buy direct, we're going to have to put in a bulk order.
Okay.
So I guess the best route to go from people that I've been talking to who currently purchase directly through China is to purchase everything and have it shipped all in one 20-foot container. For shipping costs, it's less of a hassle once it gets into the United States to have it, shipped out to our warehouse that way. And then also it will save us on the actual cost of getting it over here in the container.
Sure.
So there's a lot of stuff that we still have to learn though, because with the shipping, a lot goes into that. So that's kind of a learning experience. I don't really want to get into that too much today because I'm kind of still learning the ins and outs of that myself. So I don't want to point anybody in the wrong direction on that.
The biggest thing seems like how much you have to buy, like the amount for the bulk quantities.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest learning experience. I definitely think this is the route that we're going to end up going just because the cost, we can just save so much money by buying it directly and eliminating all of the middlemen that we currently work with.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I guess, learning the whole process because it's not something that's super simple. And then a lot of the coordination that's going to go along with it to we're not going to buy from one supplier. So it'll be a lot of coordinating with different suppliers to get them into the same container, get it over here. It's a lot of logistics behind it.
So like, for example, with the bathroom hardware that you were talking about, how much do we have to order in order to place an order?
So for the bathroom, they have a minimum order quantity of 100. And that would be 100 per each item. So we're looking at 300 at a time.
That's not too bad.
No, it's really not. The quantities that they're requiring aren't really much more than what we purchase currently when we're stocking our warehouse.
Okay.
So for the GFCIs, we only need to purchase 200 of those. Deadbolts are 500, and I can't remember, not needing 500 deadbolts at Easy Street. So, and even with the cabinet hardware, as small as those are, the minimum order quantities for those is only 500 too.
Yeah, it's not bad. I thought it was a lot higher.
I kind of thought that it would be too. I think we're going to be able to fit a lot of materials into one shipping container.
So is that all from the same supplier if they're going to put it in the same container?
No. So they're separate suppliers on each one of those.
Okay.
So each of those has a different supplier. Most of the electrical materials that I found, I was able to go in and negotiate it with the suppliers that maybe, we had one supplier that quoted almost everything lower than another supplier. So we just went back and asked them if they could, the price match the other supplier so we could get it all through one person that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked out really well. And then right now it's learning the harmonized tariff codes and a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with it. So
what's that stuff?
So every item has a code, and when you're importing something or you're exporting something, every item that you're purchasing, well, it has a code. Even if you're selling it, if you're purchasing it, there's a code for each of those. It's just super important to not getting fined to know exactly what those are. So
is that something for like customs or?
Huh?
Is that something for customs or?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
The harmonized tariff schedules is what they're called. So right now we're usually your supplier that you're purchasing from, they can give you those because they're obviously selling that. So they're going to know off the top of their head, which is where we're at in the process. So they're providing all of that, but then we'll actually have to go online and verify all of it. I work, my stepdad actually, he does a lot of purchasing from China. So he's kind of teaching me how to do all of this right now. And he has a website that you can verify all of it through. So it's just something you need to make sure for legality issues that you have that 100% accurate.
Is that like a public website you can share, or is it just for him?
No, it's a public website. Let me see. I have it in my email, I believe.
And none of these suppliers will just, box something up and ship it normally. You have to go through this whole process.
You can have it. You can have it shipped through the airline also. It's just this is the most cost effective from what we've been looking into so far.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure. Is there a way for me to share this with you, or can you see it, Tyler?
Let me, here, I'll make you the host quick. There you go.
Now I'm having a hard time getting back on. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Okay, can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay. So this is going to be the website right here. Click on it. So when I was reading through this, it gave me, this website gives you a lot of information when it comes to the shipping.
What's the name of the website?
It is home.kuhn-nagel.com.
How do you spell it?
I'm sorry.
Kuhn and Nagel is what I believe how you pronounce it. Kuhn and Nagel.
HOME.KUEHNE -NAGEL.com. It's in the replay, Victor, if you want to see it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
So yeah, and like I said, I mean, it goes over just pretty much everything that has to do with international trade.
Question I know that you said you have the tariff codes, but are there any other taxes or like duty or stuff that you have to pay for product that you purchase from China on top of what you're paying the supplier?
So from my understanding, and like I said, this is still kind of a learning experience for me. You're gonna have fees associated with export costs. We're trying to do with a lot of our suppliers the free on board, which means that they would handle all shipping expenses from the manufacturer to the actual shipping container, and then it becomes our liability to pay for everything. But you need to have a broker, and there are expenses that go along with getting it through customs. So I think there's quite a few fees associated with it, but we're just kind of really diving into that part of it right now. So maybe on my next recording, I would be able to give you a little more information about that.
Did we find a broker yet?
We are working on finding a broker right now. So our virtual assistant is working on getting some names from the suppliers of people that they've worked with in the past. And then there are some out of the Quad Cities that I'm actually going to speak with directly.
Okay.
And that broker is just the broker. He doesn't really check quality or anything. You're not going to be able to check the quality until it gets here, right?
No,
in the container.
That's going to be kind of you're going to hope for the best. And so,
right.
Just from hearing there are sometimes some issues, and because you're paying for it up front, it's a whole nother ball game, I guess, trying to get your money back if you're getting something that's damaged or,
Right.
yeah, but I haven't heard that that there's super issues with quality from people that I know that are purchasing overseas right now.
I
They
think
said, sometimes you're going to run into it where you do get some damaged items off of the container, but for the most part, most of them are going to be in good condition. And then it's just kind of trying to find out once we actually start using them in the houses, making sure that they're similar to what we're purchasing here out of the US.
Right.
I imagine it will be.
I imagine it will be too, because a lot of the materials that we're currently purchasing, so I've had some of the suppliers ask the virtual assistant for pictures of what we're currently using, and then I will send that over to her and give her an item number. And a lot of the stuff that we're actually using right now that we're buying through another supplier here in the United States is coming from China. So it's mostly just kind of eliminating that middleman. And we are going to be using pretty much the same product. So if they're not able to find us the exact same product, then they're finding us something similar. And then I guess it'll just be, when we get our first shipment, we'll know a little bit better whether we can trust them as far as the quality goes.
Do they send us
Right.
photos back of what they're sending out, or so we have
Yep.
photos?
We do. Yep. So she's got this whole Google document that we work out of. Let me see if I can get into that. Tyler, I'm just going to unshare my screen for just one moment.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so go back to shared screen. So this is what we're working out of right now. It's just a Google document that we've created. And so when they send their pictures back, our virtual assistant will upload them right into here so that we can see a picture of what they're using. This doesn't include, I just email her directly the ones that we're using. But like right here, this is what's on our website, and here's the picture then from the supplier.
I mean, everything looks exactly the same. The pictures that they send are kind of iffy, but
Yep. And then we are requesting certificate of compliances from all of them. So she's got those in here from the suppliers that have gotten them back to her.
What does that certificate do? What do you mean by that? Certificate of compliance.
The certificate of compliance, it's just,
can you blow that up?
I'm trying, I'm sorry.
Drag on the corner of it, I think.
What'd you say?
On the corner of it, the little blue box, you might have to like drag it.
Oh, okay. Can actually make it bigger that way.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm cropping it.
My understanding from the certificate of compliance is just making sure that they're in compliance with all codes to what they're manufacturing.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get this any bigger, Tyler. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up right now.
I'm not super tech savvy. That's not my unique ability.
Let's see. Certification of compliance. I'm looking up the actual definition of it.
Okay.
Just wondering if that's something that's driven by the U.S. or is it something that
Um,
China uses or
I
both?
believe
Or?
this is the certificate of compliance through China is what we're getting from them.
Oh, okay.
So basically what this says is since you are the person importing that product from China to the United States, you need to make sure that it adheres to United States or European Union rules and
Guideline.
standards. So since you're bringing that product in, it's your responsibility now, and that's just them showing you that it already adheres to that.
Right. Okay.
So you're not bringing like, a harmful or bad product into the country.
Right.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, it looks like it's something pretty new because like people were on the forums like complaining about it, how it made it harder to import stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure it is, depending on what you're importing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, I mean, there's just so many things with that this is a huge learning experience. Like I said, it's just something new really every day. Finding the prices and seems to be the easy part. Now it's the learning how to actually get it over here. So I'm excited to see how it goes though.
Yeah. I mean, if you save that much, like we're already saving so much versus if you like walked into the actual store, but
Yeah.
you can save from like, a product was $20 at Lowe's. Now it's $7. When we go to China, it's $3. It's, it's worth the hassle.
It definitely is. I mean, just like you said, for the discount that we're getting it on that side of things, it's kind of amazing too. And it really opens your mind because now I'm starting to see why our suppliers can budge when we negotiate with them. They've got all this room to budge because now we're seeing the prices that they're buying things for.
Have you tried going back to any of the people that we have right now and saying, hey, I got this locked down in China for this month. Can you move before I switch?
We have not yet, no. But that's on Matt's to-do list for me. So that's part of the process. So
Waiting to see what the quality's like first, right?
Yeah.
To see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I think we do have some suppliers that we work with that are probably going to try to come down in prices for us to make it to where it's still beneficial for them for all the work they have to put in to buy it directly, but just to keep our business because I mean there's several companies that if we start buying direct, I mean they're going to feel it because we purchase so much. So
we're not doing this with everything though. Like say like like items that you really wouldn't want to replace and have a lower quality, like faucets and stuff that like if they break, then you're gonna have like a giant water leak or something like that. We're doing this with like light fixtures and like hardware, right?
Yep. Bathroom hardware, door hardware, definitely not plumbing. So the plumbing fixtures, if we were to start buying, I won't even buy faucets from Menards. We buy all of those from a plumb supplier. So, and that's because the ones that you buy off the shelf from Menards, they come with little plastic pieces when you're installing them, and those tend to break a lot easier, especially when you get tenants into properties. Tenants are just, I mean, they're known to be hard. Some tenants are hard on things and properties. So they tend to break a lot more often and actually cost us more money in the long run. So we're right now currently purchasing all of our plumbing, toilets, faucets for your bathroom, bathtub trim kits, everything through a plumbing supplier. And those come with all metal pieces and they last a lot longer. They're higher quality.
I remember we were talking to, I think it was Ann from Plum Supply, and she was explaining how you look at the exact same models of a Delta faucet at Lowe's versus from a plumbing distributor. The insides of the ones at Lowe's, even though it's the same exact model, are plastic most of the time. Yep. And the ones from them were, brass internals with like actual good O-rings and stuff. And just weird how
higher quality.
Yeah, even though it's the same.
Lowe's had a lower quality than you said the plumbing supplier.
Yeah, the plumbing direct supplier, because once you open those things up and you look at the actual valves and the handles, they're made out of plastic and they just wouldn't last as long. But the plumbing supplier would have a same exact model name but metal internals that lasted longer.
Yeah, I mean, and the models look exactly that. You're right; they look identical, and we've used both, and that's. So obviously we just, kind of assume that a plumbing supply company is going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you that they have the better quality because to justify their prices being a little higher. But we've actually tried them out, and the ones that you buy off the shelf at Menards and Lowe's, they have little plastic pieces. They're not pieces that you would see on the outside if it was already installed. It's something that your tech or your contractor is going to see when they're putting it in. And those little pieces that go inside the faucet to install them are what break. They tend to break a lot easier. So then you end up having to replace your faucets a lot more often.
Yeah, I think
Is there a pretty significant price difference between Lowe's and the plumbing supply? I mean, I know quality is one thing.
Nope, not really. There was, but we've managed to negotiate our prices down. So right now for bathroom faucets, we're paying about around $50
for Delta.
for Delta. Yep.
Okay.
I always wanted to mess around with, like, you go to a hotel and you see they have all like either Kohler or Delta fixtures, but they're like a commercial line of stuff. I always want to try and figure out how to get pricing on that stuff because that stuff lasts forever.
On the Kohler?
Well, no, just like, you know, the commercial like stuff that a hotel uses, because that's probably has to be the most abuse that something will ever see.
Yeah.
And if they're putting it in all their hotels, they must get some sort of discount somewhere.
That's a good idea to check into. Does anybody have any questions right now?
Yeah, one more. I have a question. So you mentioned to me that you're not doing this with everything, like light. You're just doing it with like the light fixtures and hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what percentage of that is it a large percentage of everything you have in the warehouse, or? I'm just curious.
I would say probably 75%. I would think we're looking at prices about 75% of what we're purchasing.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's large. That's a large amount.
And it doesn't mean that necessarily I'm going to start purchasing everything, because I want to take into consideration what our suppliers currently are able to come down to. If they're able to save us all the trouble and we're paying just a little bit more, and we can kind of justify those numbers in the amount of time that it will save somebody on a day-to-day basis to deal with everything that goes into buying from China. I mean, we may end up not purchasing that full percentage of items from China directly. Right. There's a lot of things that are still in play right now.
Right.
Have you found, like, I know it's not exactly like a middleman, like a company we would go through, but is there like a service or like a person that specializes in lining up these, communication between you and a China distributor?
I think there are logistics companies that could probably help us with some of it. It would just be, how much are they going to charge for it,
Yeah, it's kind of like eliminating the purpose, I guess.
There's already so many people that you have to involve just because of the regulations. So it's just kind of a matter of, if you can do it yourself, is it worth paying another company to have to do the same things? And it might be something that we start with up front, just because they're familiar with it and they're doing this every single day. So they may be able to, we may be able to learn from them a little bit, I guess, to make the process a little bit more simple.
Yeah. The other thing is lead time. Like, as soon as we'll place an order, we'll get that stuff delivered. It probably takes like 2-3 weeks, right? As soon as we get that actually in our hands physically, we probably have to place another order.
Yeah, the lead time when you buy direct is usually actually closer to 2 or 3 months.
Months?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Most of the suppliers, so on our Google document, my VA, she's actually putting in here what their production time is. So they will give us their actual production time. So from the time we place the order, they may need 20 to 35 days just to fill the order that we've placed. The quantity, make sure that they have everything. And then they have to ship it to the dock there to get onto our container. And then it'll have to come overseas and then go through customs, and then we'll actually have a truck driver deliver it to the warehouse.
I wonder, like, is there a way, like, can you, like, I'm not sure how it works, but can you, like, buy a container and then, like, from 5 different distributors, they, like, fill it up for you and that's just your container? And then once it's ready, it ships out? I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I don't know the answer to that.
You mean like have a container there?
You have a container
available,
there.
ready.
You have all your different, people. You're trying to make the most out of the value for that container. So you have all those different distributors fill it up with, all different items. Then you ship one container. I'm not sure if that's a thing.
Yeah, yep, that's
Yeah.
actually what we would be doing. There would be a lot of coordination though there's going to be some coordination there to make sure that we're getting everything into one container. But that's really the route that we'll want to go because it actually is the most cost effective.
Yeah.
From my understanding.
There's a lot of moving parts. I mean, like you have to think all the dock workers and stuff that have to go in your container, if they're stealing stuff from your container, all kinds of stuff.
I know. It's definitely been a learning experience already, and there's just so much more to learn. I don't know if we'll ever learn everything.
You'll know when you get your first container, right?
Oh, right. I know. I'm kind of excited about that, just to see if it's everything it's cracked up to be. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So once that container gets to the U.S., what happens from there? Do we have to manage shipping from some port, or is that done already?
Yep. So you'll have it. We'll have it. Imported in here, and then we actually have to hire a company that would then pick it up out of where it comes in, and then haul it to us.
Yeah, tractor trailer load.
Yeah. So there'll be a little bit of shipping there. I mean, we could actually go pick it up ourselves if we had a big enough, truck to do so.
Yeah, but imagine going to the coast. It's probably going to the West Coast. It wouldn't even make sense for us to have a truck.
Yeah, usually Chicago, Los Angeles area.
Oh, they bring them to like Chicago. They can come inland.
Yeah, my dad actually has a lot of bearings that ship in to Chicago, and then they just actually drive from Iowa City then and pick them up there.
Huh.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends, I guess.
I guess I just imagine like a bunch of containers on a cargo ship. I didn't really, think about how it's actually going.
I know. There's just like once you actually start doing it, there's just so much moving parts to it. It's kind of exciting. I'm getting excited about it. So we've been working on this, I guess, for maybe 2-3 weeks. And I think we're maybe 30% of the way there.
Oh.
The other cool thing this opens up for us is since we have like such a large discount on these things now, we can order in these high quantities. We're going to start selling it to a bunch of local contractors too. We'll become one of those, middlemen suppliers.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be like a mini Lowe's.
Yep. First time they'll open it up to the public. Should be cool.
I have a question. It doesn't have to do with the container or anything, but is your, like when you, like on rehabs, somebody goes out and scopes the cost of the rehab, that's all integrated to the warehouse and the SKUs in the warehouse? I think that's what I heard.
Not directly. So like once you go in, I used to do this. So you go through, they'd floor plan the house and get all the square footages of all the rooms. And then the guy who does it would come back to the office and punch in all the square footages to Podio. And he would click like condition status buttons in Podio, like, hey, this wall needs done, or I'm going to paint the whole room. So then Podio does the thinking and spits out the quantities that you'll need. And from there, they can just place an order in the warehouse with that. We never got to the point, like it's definitely possible. We never got to the point of Podio like spitting out SKUs and stuff to like make it easily scannable into the warehouse. So it would automatically make the order, but it's easy enough just to like take that sheet that it spits out, hit on the warehouse website, and then place an order like that.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So
Podio doesn't calculate what your rehab cost is going to be based on what you have in the warehouse, right? I mean, is it?
Well, the pricing in
like
Podio is based on our warehouse numbers. It's not exactly live because it's not pulling on that data, but we, refresh it every once in a while to update the pricing.
Okay.
So Podio doesn't know the pricing.
Yep. Yeah.
It's an estimate because it doesn't know exactly what's going in, but.
Right. Right.
What were you saying, Erika?
Oh, I said I just updated all those prices actually. Not too long ago in Podio.
Do you want to talk
Maybe
about
you'll take Lowe's out of business.
On construction material.
Yeah.
Imagine that lawsuit.
I'm kind of excited to see. I definitely think it'll be, if we can really dive into this and we find that we're getting really great quality items from China once we get our first shipment. Once we get it up and running, I think it'll be a really beneficial tool, not only for us, but having us there to do the work, and we're able to price things maybe lower than what Menards and Lowe's is, help out other investors in the area. I think it'll be great for them too.
Yeah, I think it'll, help out these other smaller investors, and then eventually they'll become customers of ours through the other facets of the business, and maybe sell us a house, or contractor will start doing work for us.
Yep.
Something
Yeah,
like
it'll be really nice to see how it goes. Just because, I mean, we've already done a couple deals where Matt's partnered with people, and we've been able to save them tons of money when it comes to materials. So it'll be nice to see how much we can do to actually help out not only ourselves, but a lot of other investors once we get going with this whole process.
Yeah, I think it was, what you bid that project in, was it in Ohio or was it Illinois for Tim?
Springfield, yes.
Okay, so Illinois. It was like 200 something units, right?
Yeah, we were able to save like up over $100,000, close to $100,000 just in paint.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're, Tim's company, they buy probably like 2,000 to 3,000 units a year, and they already have their bulk discounts, but we were able to get a deeper discount because we're always constantly working on getting discounts from suppliers. And, we might have smaller volume than them because we're not doing the same amount of units, but we still saved that much.
Yeah.
He's the apartment guy, right? He buys mostly apartments.
He's completely multifamily. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were able to help them out quite a bit on paint and water heaters, and just there were a few things that they ended up going with different brands than us, which is totally fine, but we did get to the chance to work with them, and we're able to help them save some money, so that was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
A fun project.
That train deal we did with the air conditioners and heat?
Yeah.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, so that was kind of another one of those things where you're able to cut out the middleman there again. So I got a hold of some people with Train and had them quote air conditioning furnaces for us just to see how much money we could save there. And we're able to get air conditioning units for just about $515, and that's going to be for a 2-ton air conditioner. And then they just go up from there. But I mean, that Train deal is actually I think we save probably 30 to 40% from what we're paying right now, even with the pricing our current supplier is able to give us. Just like
are we buying them right now from a supplier, or do we buy them through our HVAC companies?
So we've hired most of our mechanical guys onto our payroll now. So we've been actually buying them through our plumbing suppliers who we've been going through.
Okay, so plumb supply.
Yeah. So when we contracted that work, our contracted HVAC company, they were using Train systems. So we have Train systems in a lot of our houses. And then once we kind of decided to bring that into our business, hire a plumber, electrician, and an HVAC guy, we started going through our supplier then to buy those materials. And we've been negotiating to try to get, a better price here and there. Matt asked me to reach out to Train because they're again, it's kind of more of a wholesale purchase. So I reached out to them, and we were able to negotiate from where we're at, and they were able to just save us a ton of money. I mean,
is this pricing for a one-time purchase or an ongoing contract?
No, this would be we would solely just purchase Train systems, so they would become our supplier.
Okay.
Where we wouldn't, we don't, and like I said, you kind of know me and how I talked a little bit last time on how I feel about signing contracts and locking myself into purchasing just from one supplier. I don't like to put myself in that position. I feel like if somebody's going to make you sign a contract to give you a certain price, that means you can find it somewhere else cheaper. So we didn't have to do that here. This was just pure here's the amount of business we're doing every year is what I provided them. We're doing 200 flips a year, and we're putting all new systems in every single one of those, and kind of giving them a ballpark figure on what we were going to use for air conditioners and furnaces. And then from there, they were able to send me over a price quote.
What do the prices look like compared to what we currently pay?
Oh, amazing. Let me go ahead and just share them with you guys.
Just a question. Train is a supplier. I mean, what? I don't quite know what.
Train is so if you go outside and look at your AC unit, or you go in your basement and look at your furnace, it's made by Train, Rheem, one of those mechanical companies. It's like the actual hardware.
Okay.
So they're like a furnace and air company that sells the parts.
Okay.
And then you have an HVAC installer go install that stuff for you.
Okay, let me get back on here. Okay.
Train is supposedly one of the most reliable companies though, and I think they have like a crazy warranty.
They have been like voted the best systems for a long time. But yeah, we're able to get a 2-ton air conditioning unit for $515. That moves up to $550 for a 2.5 ton and $610 for a 3-ton. Our furnaces for 95% high efficient are going to run $678 each.
Okay. And then compared to what we pay right now, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and pull an invoice here. I'm going to leave it off of screen sharing just because some of it's got confidential stuff on it.
Yeah, TRANE. So I looked it up.
Did you find it?
I think he was talking.
Yeah, I looked. Yeah, I looked up the name of the company.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, they sent me a lot of invoices, so I'm just trying to find one with the furnace on it. You know what? He actually just sent me over some brand new pricing, so let me just pull that.
Who's that?
Plum Supply.
Mm.
I'm really drawing a blank on his name right now. I don't know why, because I talk to him like 3 times a week, but.
Did you tell Plum Supply that you're going right to Train? Did they say anything?
I didn't tell them Train specifically. I did tell them that I was getting prices from other suppliers and that right now they were kind of getting, blown out of the water with the prices.
Yeah.
So they've been trying to come down for us. I think they're kind of in a spot where they maybe just can't because of, what price they're probably paying. Plus they use a different brand. So for a 95% high efficient furnace from Supply, which is where we're currently purchasing, it's $797 as opposed to the $678.
Okay, so $100 there.
Mm-hmm. And that's on a 40K BTU.
So
and then the price, the prices go up. So so an 85,000 BTU is $942.69.
From Plum?
Yeah. And let me go back to the Train one here.
These are all made in the U.S.
Train is, yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Yep. And so that furnace through Train is $749.
It's a pretty good deal because it's a big furnace.
So you're looking at, a couple $100. So once you figure in the coils, and I was kind of figuring it out just based on the 40K BTU furnace and a 2-ton air conditioner. And so from where Plum Supply was at and where Train is at, we are actually able to save about $450 a house.
Mm-hmm.
So $450 per system, $450. You know,
It's not bad.
no, not when you're doing a bunch of houses.
Yeah.
Then you got the in-house guys too. So what do you think the savings were there? I mean, how long does it take them to install a system? Do you know?
That would probably be a better question for Heather, but I think they're doing a couple of houses a week, so I don't know on that, but maybe ask her the next training she does.
Hey, Victor, did the circuit sound fuzzy to you?
Hello?
Yeah, I think I'm losing something.
Are ya?
Victor, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did that sound fuzzy to you? It sounded fuzzy to me.
Yeah, it did. It did sound fuzzy. It's good now.
Okay.
It goes in and out.
You didn't hear me at all?
No, I heard you, but it was weird. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably ask Heather, but I mean, between labor and material, we're saving quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I think we were doing just a furnace install was $2,300 with material included. That was through an HVAC company.
Yeah.
So I imagine it would take our guys 2 days for 2 guys, right? And they're what, 20-something bucks an hour?
Yeah, probably pretty close to that. I know, so we have the plumber do the water heaters. So if you get a water heater done by, any plumbing company, usually in the Quad City area, you're probably looking at about $1,400 to $1,500. And between buying the water heater and the materials and getting it done, we're paying about $700. So it's about 50% less than what you would pay to have a contractor do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Not bad.
lots of exciting things happening with materials.
Victor, you got anything else question-wise?
I'm good.
All right.
New stuff for me, so.
Yeah, this one was actually, this one's kind of even new for us, Victor. So it's fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
Yeah, well, good luck with it, man. It sounds, it's exciting. If it can definitely work out and save you guys a lot, and you'll be in the driver's seat negotiating with your suppliers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, once it's done, I'm sure we'll, write up some sort of process on how it works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is Adrienne, are you here? I see her on Zoom here, but
Yeah, I'm here.
you got any questions or?
No, this is helpful. We're not quite ready to head down this road yet, but yeah, it's exciting.
Hey, do you have the replay links for June and July? Just want to double check.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, I'll shoot them your way.
Thank you.
Yep. Erika, you want to wrap it up or anything else?
I don't really have anything else for today unless you've got questions.
I think we're good.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
I'm hoping we'll be a little bit further along in this by the next time, and we can share a little bit more information with everybody.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Thanks.
All right.
Yep. See you guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Take care. Ciao.
Thanks, Erika.
Thank you.